I can do Harry Potter lore easy.
Yeah.
Hi, and welcome to the Underleveled
Good
Podcast.
morning! Happy New Year!
No!
I'm Bjorn.
I'm Kieran.
I'm Shav.
And we are the Underleveled Podcast. Yeah. See, it's just like I did it in the recordings.
Yeah, this is our first recording of the new year.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And today's we're gonna talk about our favorite things from 2023.
Damn, dude.
Really wish we could have done that as our final one for 2023, but obviously there was a bug going around in Cape Town. I was the only one that got it in this group.
Yo.
But in our friend group, I wasn't the only one.
I was so lucky, dude.
No, it's just we're stronger. We're better.
I had such indigestion. I was scared I was gonna just throw up. Didn't. Haven't thrown up since I was 17. No, I'm joking. It's a lie.
So
It's a
how was
full-faced
everybody?
lie.
How was everybody's last week, the first week of the new year? Anything happened this week that made you feel underleveled?
Good questions. I don't know. I'm still working on developing my mindset to be stronger, more positive. And so that requires learning. And so learning is good. I think that should be one of my goals as well for 2024.
Actually, I wanted to ask you, because we were sitting with another one of our friends,
Yeah.
and you had like 35 goals.
Yeah.
Right? You wrote pages of goals.
Yes, sir.
In any way, shape, or form, do you feel like almost underprepared or underleveled to set goals?
Yes.
Okay.
I feel like I'm not a good goal setter. I feel like you two are more succinct and my goals are sort of a bit up in the airy. I don't know.
I think
like they're not solid.
when it comes to setting goals, you gotta start small.
Yeah.
Because every time you complete like a small goal,
Yeah.
that dopamine hits you, makes you feel more comfortable to set a bigger one and go for the next target.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's what I learned when I was listing off the goals with Bjorn and our friend, and I was like, it looked like I was telling two people that were just like, I don't know if he knows what goals are. And now obviously there were some that were good, but a lot of them were like the same goal.
Yeah.
Or
it's like
through lines of the same thing.
Can you give an example of what
I
those
want to
are?
be an astronaut. I want to go to space.
Yeah.
So being an astronaut is like a step on
Yeah.
going to space.
Yeah.
So that kind of idea.
So basically, the 35 goals I had could have been half that. So, or
I mean,
even less.
Even less.
Well,
Yeah. 10,
But
maybe
even
10.
in the astronaut one, that's like a big goal, and there's a bunch of mini goals underneath
Yeah.
that to help
Yeah.
you complete that big goal.
They're stepping stones.
Yes.
That I added as if they were goals, but they're all
They're mini goals.
mini goals.
So what we talked about was you start with your kind of less concrete big ideas. Like, I want to become president. That's your goal. And then you need to take that a step further and then break that down into smaller
How
achievable
you
things.
How
Yes.
do I?
And then, well, obviously it depends on what your goals are. But you
Yes.
can take that a step further and then break it up into different parts of the year or when you want to have it achieved by or deadlines. So there's steps towards it. But I think, I don't know, did you make a bit of progress there?
So I haven't narrowed them all down yet, but I have started setting things up like a weekly planner. I've started thinking about what you guys said and limiting the amount of goals that I have. And also, that's a good thing that you said is start small. So I'm gonna start small. I don't have to be become famous or whatever it is. It's just release art or release music every other week, because currently I'm not doing that anymore. So if I do it consistently once every 2 weeks, that's already an improvement. And that's more so for confidence, to just put stuff out there and not be afraid and not of the judgment and all that stuff.
If you can
It's a big thing for me.
If you can do that week to week and do it for 3 months, it becomes a habit.
Yeah.
Because 3 months to break and form a habit.
Damn it, dude, why is it 3 months? Why can't it be 2 days?
Because 3 months is a quarter of the year.
Yeah.
And when you see what you've done for a quarter of the year, it's such a moral boost.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's a quarter of the year, 3 months, and I've been doing this every day. I can do this for the rest of the year now.
So
So
there
that-
might actually be science to art.
There is science to it.
So,
So it's 3 months.
fun fact, guys, during the height of COVID,
Yes, sir.
I was I'm going to become I'm a journalist. I'm going to become a writer. I went through a
You
lot of
didn't.
different... I did not achieve that. But I still, somewhere on my laptop, have maybe 15,000 words of a book on talent
really?
and stuff. I was reading...
Can I read it? Please.
Sure. I have excerpts from genuine neuroscience articles and
Huberman's lab.
I'm just writing down everything that Andrew Huberman says. No, but a lot of it. There's a really good book called The Talent Code by Daniel Coyle. I think that's what it's called. And he talks about myelin, myelin. It's the compound that it's the glue kind of that like makes neurons stronger. So if you think of your brain and all those like little synapses and something with an A. There's something with an A in your brain.
Axons.
Something like that.
Axons.
But myelin is a compound or some one of those words that biologists use, and it wraps around the like the pathways between your brain, and it makes those pathways stronger. And it's, I think when we're talking about habits, it's literally how long it takes for it to become thick enough for something to become a habit. So that might actually be the science behind it.
Well, yeah, I mean, my big thing is when I have a stressor, an external stressor, a due date, a thing like that, I can get shit done. When I don't, that is when things fall apart. So now I need to learn how to set my own like deadlines.
And keep
in a
those
healthy
to yourself,
way.
yeah.
Yes.
Well, like
A
keep your
consistent
promises
way.
to yourself.
Yes.
Okay.
Which is super hard for me.
You can like do a reward system for yourself. Be like, when I submit or when I upload music, I can reward myself with like chicken nuggets from.
Dude, chicken nuggets.
And that's the only time you're allowed to eat chicken nuggets is when you upload.
Dude, I could do that. Like, food does motivate me, so...
Truly. I do want to
Yeah.
ask you, you anything underleveled on your side?
My body failing me is last week and making me sick.
Oh.
When I got to 25. I treat
Yeah.
my body like a temple. Video users ignore the monster can I'm drinking from right now.
You're smoking crack,
Only-
actually.
But I truly do. I go to gym 3 times a week.
Yeah.
I eat relatively healthy. I don't have sweets or chocolates or anything. And I usually am on it on my vitamin C game, but for the past 3 weeks I've been away from home and my usual diet supply. And my vitamins I didn't pack with me.
Oh, dude.
And that was over the past 3 weeks. Well, last week obviously is when I got sick with the bug.
Yeah.
On the day we were supposed to play D&D, which was so upsetting for me because I was looking forward to that day for such a long time. And I wasn't able to like be there during it.
Yeah, I get you, dude. You looked man down.
I tried my
Like,
because our DM put like so much time into it, I really didn't want to disappoint him. So I managed to sit through those 3-4 hours. As soon as it was done, I passed out.
Yeah.
I was dead. I threw up like halfway in between the session, and that helped me.
Dude, that's
that gave me like a
amazing.
second win after my throw up. I just ate some gammon from Christmas time, and I was like, "Ooh, I'm feeling good." But I hadn't eaten anything that day,
Yeah.
and now there was something in my stomach to throw up. As soon as that happened, I felt good.
So talk to me, do you think it was that stomach bug that's been going around, or do you think that it was that wine that you drank?
Oh, yeah.
It was definitely the stomach. It had to be the stomach bug.
Because the story was
the
the wine for a long time.
Yeah.
We thought it was the wine until another of our friends who we just went out for lunch the previous day also got sick. So now we all think maybe at that lunch is where we all caught it.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
almost everybody from that lunch got sick except for you, Bjorn.
Yeah, because I'm not weak.
We're strong.
Actually, we were trying to... You didn't have any tequila-based drink, right?
When we went to Fat Cactus.
yeah.
I don't think so.
Because we all had some tequila-based thing, and that was the only outlier between us and you.
I did sip from your guys' drinks as
Yeah.
well, though. I did have some of the like shaved ice margarita
Yeah.
stuff.
I don't know.
I think
Look,
you're
I'm trying
just
to build a
weak.
theory.
You know.
Anyways, yeah,
Some
so
people
yeah,
are
that was
just
my
so
small
different.
one. Underlevel, just my body failing me because I really hate it when that happens. I hate getting sick so much. I
Yeah.
hate losing days.
I hate getting sick as well, dude. It's
As
such
a kid, I used to
setback.
love getting sick because stay home, play PlayStation. Now I was like, I'm losing time, man.
Yeah, when I was when I was smoking a lot, I used to get sick a lot from like I'm pretty sure just from the unhealthy
Durate.
of smoking.
Okay.
And now that I've stopped, like I'm getting less sick, which is sick. It's a good reason to stop, guys.
Different kind of sick.
Yeah, well, yeah, like I think maybe that might be why I didn't get the bug.
Because you're not smoking anymore.
Yeah, because my immune system might be like a little slightly stronger.
Maybe.
Maybe not. Maybe not. I don't even know how it works, to be honest with you. I like to tell myself that.
Okay. Anyway.
Bjorn, you had a good
Guys,
week, right?
factually, a lot of the things I say on this podcast are not factually accurate.
Don't stress. I'm not gonna fact check stuff, but like it doesn't matter. Let's start misinforming people.
Okay.
Nothing to feel underleveled this past week.
I will say I'll keep it relatively short. I haven't thought about it enough to really like reflect.
That's fine. But we're gonna have our good weeks where like nothing makes us feel we feel like invincible.
Yeah. But I've been house sitting for the past like week and a half.
With the Russians.
First it was for my parents, and then for some family friends.
Yeah.
And the first day I normally house sit and it's just pets to look after. But now there was also someone's like the grandma of the family was staying there as well. And on the first night, which was Monday, today was Sunday, I don't know what it is. I had this big issue with like control or feeling trapped because she was doing things and living her life and I didn't want to impede on her schedule. It got easier over the week, but Monday and Tuesday I was just like awfully stressed, and especially Monday night I just had this feeling of being trapped, and I was just struggling to be a human. I was like comatose.
So what was she doing? Like
no, she was just living her life. So it's
chores.
lovely. I can't stress it enough. But it is weird.
Doesn't speak a lick of English.
No, my Russian is off the charts, guys. Truly, but I don't know what it is. I don't know why it came about, but it was like I was in someone else's space. When I normally house it, I can like move things around. I can cook food and like clean later. I can do what I want. Yeah. But I keep things always relatively clean and neat regardless. But I make a space my own. Now she was there. She had her schedule. I like couldn't set up where I wanted to set up. I couldn't do the things I would normally do to make a space feel like my own. And then it really just made me feel awful. There's also like an alarm on the house, and I'm not used to alarms. That was stressing me out because she was like 7 o'clock at night. She's off to bed. She's closing doors, setting an alarm. And I was like, can I...
How old is she?
I struggle to tell ages past 60, but I think she's around 73, somewhere there. Regardless, lovely. Man.
And she
honestly...
you said she was worried that she was going to have to make you food.
Dude, so weird. The first night, the first morning, which is Tuesday morning, and we go into the kitchen same time. I make her a coffee, and she's over there making herself like a grilled cheese sandwich.
Nice.
And I'm like, okay, sweet. She's making herself some breakfast. No stress whatsoever.
Yeah.
And then I put our coffees down. I grab mine and leave. And she puts the plate in front of me. I'm like, oh, enjoy your food. And she's like, no. Kusha, eat. Kusha. And I'm like, and I'm like, okay, I don't eat breakfast. I'm not a breakfast guy. I have my coffee and that's it. And then I'm chewing on I don't want to have melted cheese for breakfast. But then I'm outside eating it, and then later on the mom of the family who's away sends me a voice note on WhatsApp, and she's like, Bjorn, my mom is a bit worried that she doesn't know what to cook you. I'm like, hold on, pause for a moment. She forced the food upon me.
But she's from a different generation,
but also the mom then explained that it's okay, she'll explain it to her mom that I can sort myself out, but also that Russian grandmas. Yeah. I mean, I think actually I haven't had grandparents in 15, 18 years. I don't want to assume. Maybe that just means bitch, dude.
No, I'm so sure that's a grandmother.
Are we sure?
I don't know.
Are all Russian-speaking people?
I don't causing trouble. I'm gonna just misinform people.
Regardless, they just want to feed and they just want to take care and dote. And I was like, no.
Do you think it would have been the same if I was in your place, such as someone?
They're accepting in Russia, I'm sure. Famously, Russians love all people. Not anyone, regardless of creed or color, is so welcome in Russia.
I mean,
anyways,
it sounds like you were living in I don't know, post 1920s Soviet.
No.
What? No, there's such an exaggeration.
But that's the way you make it sound.
Lovely doting grandma who goes to bed at 7.
1928 Joseph Stalin.
The first time you told me the story, dude, it sounded like I don't know, you were going through it, dude.
I was stressed. I didn't know how to interact with the space.
Okay.
But anyways, guys.
No, that's
moving on.
So 2023, a lot happened. So I asked you guys to bring your 5 favorite things from 2023 that made you happy or that you were proud of. So why don't you start?
Am I starting us off? Are we going to go 1, 1, 1 and then keep going?
No, we can switch it up every other round.
No.
I don't mind.
Oh, I like routine.
Do you want me to go
Alright,
first?
fine.
Okay.
Do you want to go first here?
No, my
You wanna
turn.
go first?
Dad. I want to go
I don't,
first.
Say
I don't
rock, paper,
mind.
scissors.
Whatever's more comfortable. You know, we're not in school right now.
Okay,
we're
no,
not
fair
getting
enough.
called up for
All right. We're going alphabetical order. Go before.
Don't start this again. Don't start this again. You know Kieran has a problem with that.
I go first, bro. Come on.
Okay, I think I'm going to start with, I think the big one of this past year is that I made a career change, more or less.
Yes, you did.
So you guys obviously know, but I went to school with you, then went and did environmental science. Started engineering, realized I was a bit too dumb, and switched to just environmental science. Then went overseas, and when I got back, because of COVID, I was still entertaining the idea of maybe still traveling and working as a yachty, and all that kind of stuff. And I just floundered for a year and a half. And then beginning of 2022, I started seeing this stuff about concept art and illustration. And I was like, oh, this seems really cool. But we're a family of very practical, logical people. Art and that kind of stuff isn't viewed really as a career.
Yeah.
It's viewed as a creative outlet, not necessarily as
A money
anything.
Yeah, something that
Exactly.
could sustain.
Or if it is, it's 1 in a million, or whatever it might be. So,
That's very much an older generation
it
perspective.
depends on what parents you have.
I mean, it's very it is a high risk,
can be.
high reward.
It
Can be.
I mean,
But
Brown-
it's getting better now.
I don't know. I mean, brown culture is still very much frowned upon. You can do it if you have another revenue source that's
I see.
sustaining you.
Like what we said about your brother.
Yeah,
where
my
he
brother.
proved to your parents that he can.
You can do both.
He can do
Yeah.
both. So for my parents, kind of the same. Just we were always encouraged to do arts, and I went to art school when I was 4.
Nice.
Frank Chabert, I think, in Rondebosch. If you guys have ever heard
Just
of it.
outside the high school.
Yeah, super cool place, and I went there when I was 4 or 5, and so did my older sibling, and I've always done art, but always casual. Drew my little Pokemon in junior school, but then beginning of last year, I was this actually, if I'm gonna flounder and struggle regardless of what happens, might as well choose to do something that seems kind of fucking sick.
Yes.
And that's when I found out about school here in Cape Town, and then this past year, did the program, lovely concept art and illustration program at Academy. I always get this wrong. Academy either of Digital Art or for Digital Artists. I can't. I don't know.
AKA just ADA.
ADA.
You went there, bro.
Still have no clue, but did that, and now I'm kind of in a spot where I'm slowly but surely starting to build an art career, which is really cool, and I think that's genuinely something I'm proud of from the past year.
Dude,
You
I think
you being a teacher's pet started a...
How dare you?
Vishavi, you've gone on about
I'm just
this
a
for
nice
so
human
long.
being.
You don't want to tell the people about how you're a teacher's pet and now you working with your teacher.
I need you to check yourself. I was older than most of the
Yeah.
teaching staff there.
Listen, man, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Suck a couple dicks, but it's all fine.
No, I'm just joking. But
yeah, that's my
a
first thing of this
really
past year.
Significant. That's been a big thing.
That's a
I've seen the change as well. And it's good.
Yeah.
Kieran?
Your turn.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a book here. I'm just gonna
that was your thing of the year.
just in
you got a
case,
book.
because my memory isn't the best. But my things were a little bit more personal.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a very personal one, of course.
Fuck you, that's not personal. I'm gonna show you what's personal.
No, I realized what I said as soon as I said it. Okay, well, I'll start with something in the similar vein, actually. Recording music for an EP. So I put this one down, and 4 songs for an EP. It's been 2 years, basically. We started in third year of animation school, me and my friend. Don't know if I should say, yeah. Me and my friend
You've said his
Patrick.
name before.
Yeah, he's fine with it, I'm sure. And we've been working on, we worked on our first song for almost a year, getting to just grips with working with each other, making a song that both of us were invested in. And then from there, we graduated and we were like, cool, now we've got time to keep going with this EP that we had decided we were going to release. And so the whole of 2023, we worked on for about maybe 4 or 5 months. We worked on the 3 other songs. and jam sessions and all that kind of stuff, and recording actually like recording vocals and recording piano and guitar, all these things that we needed. So I was doing vocals, and I was doing like song structure for like basic song structure for acoustic guitar and stuff like that. And Paddy was doing like synth and piano, and his brother was doing electric. And to be honest, for me, I haven't released it yet. It is going to be released this either the end of Jan or start of Feb, but it's been something I'm actually like quite proud of, making 4 songs with Patrick, of course. And you know, I've always made songs and posted things on Instagram and made my own songs, and I always like used to show you guys and stuff. And this EP, when it gets released on Spotify or wherever else it gets released, that's quite big. Like, that's quite a scary thing for me to do, and that's my whole thing for this year, is do scary things, do the things that you're afraid of, because most of the time, things that you're afraid of are actually the things that you need to go towards, and they're gonna like help you, because you can then overcome your fears. So one of my fears is like doing the pod, in the sense that people can see me and judge me, and now I'm trying to continue doing the pod so that I can defeat that like sense of judgment. What's
the name you guys are going to be releasing under?
So we haven't actually got the name down yet. It's either going to be under my name, or we're going to come up with a more like a band title, sort of simple, something maybe funny that can incorporate the 3 of us. Yeah. So that's my first one, and yeah, technically it's from 2022 as well. So it's 2022, 2023, but actually doing 4 months of consistent recording has been something I'm very proud of, because lately we've been recording much less, just because I don't know, mainly because of me, but I've just been, you know, going through some things, but now, you know, it's getting close to release, and that feels very exciting.
Has the process been similar to the podcast, where after every session you guys learned like a bunch of new stuff and how to improve the next time?
Yes, very much so. Like, we're figuring out better ways to record, figuring out basically having that space to like record something, listen to it back, and then re-record it, or even change the lyrics, or because I'm very judgmental of my own stuff. Like, I'm my own worst critic. So I learned through this process, like, you know, sometimes if you're too hard on yourself, you're not gonna get anything done. You're just gonna like keep delaying.
Cool.
And I don't want to do that anymore. So that's my first one.
Okay, now, lovely. I'm so happy for you.
Yeah,
Why do you have to throw shade on my shit?
I'm sorry, bro.
No, I'm joking.
Sometimes I don't think, and then I say things.
To be fair, I didn't even pick up on it. Hushav was the one that was like, oh, deeper meaning out here.
I didn't mean that. But
what a
Alright.
prawn.
Unlike you guys, I'm going to do something personal.
I'm going to do something personal. Go for it.
I think it's in the same vein as yours, Ewan, but I want to go with my honors degree for this year.
Yeah, dude.
I've done a couple career changes, also, like Bjorn. Some Hushav law for the one person who probably is not a friend of me who's listening.
Okay.
I started off doing medicine, and then I switched to engineering, and I completed up my honors degree this year in information systems. So for me, that was a really great accomplishment, because obviously I've been in now university for almost 9 years. Yeah. Close to doing matric 2 times, basically.
Sure. When you say it like that, it's...
Yeah. Matric, dude. Yeah, so it was a very like stressful year, because like every time like I do something, it's like I don't want to fail, I don't want to be here for like another year. So I put a lot of pressure on myself this year, and having gotten my results now, and they gave me a 69. They gave me 2 69s for 2 of my modules, which pisses me off so much.
They knew what they were doing.
If you ever mark me in the future, anyone, give me a 68. Do not give me a 69. It pisses me off so much.
Khrushchev reading through his results, and it's like, he's just slowly scanning down the page, and it's like 70, 65.
Okay, first of all,
69.
80s.
Low.
Hey?
First of all, 80s, not 70s. Come on.
You got 80s in university.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's
And you laugh at the first one, and the second time you see 69, you're disappointed.
I'm like, it's like, just give me the 70. Like, there's nothing to give me a percent, or drop me down to 68, and it won't fuck with my mind so much.
You're good, but you're not that good.
Because the entire time, like, if I just worked a little bit harder, I could have got a fucking 70.
The pass is a
But
pass.
the second half of the year was very hard, because I secured a job just halfway through the year, and a lot of my motivation for the year just went out the window. Because I'm like, I've got a job secured, I don't really care to like put in the work to get good marks. But still.
Because you've already like got
I've got a job, yeah.
Okay.
Maybe you should start listening to The Rock a bit more.
The Rock.
You got to put in the work.
Gotta put in the hours.
Take what's ours.
We hungry.
But in my
We
contract for my work, they said I had to get my degree to sign the official contract. There's like a pre-contract and then the official one. So I did have to like do some work to make sure I passed. Yeah. But yeah, I was really, that made me really happy to finally have honors degree that I can put on my CV and be like, yes, I did.
Take some pressure off as well.
Yes,
right?
takes a lot of pressure.
And stress.
Yeah, because I tried applying for jobs last year when I was doing my undergrad and completing it. It was so hard to get a second interview. But this year, while I'm doing my honors and applying, I got so many like second job interviews, and I got a lot of job offers even before I completed my my degree. So yeah, just having that is like such a stress.
That's so cool, bro. I mean, honestly, job interviews are the scariest thing.
They are. It's a skill. It's a skill that you have to learn, like going to a job interview and like saying what they want. And because before every interview, I go and I research the company. I look at like their social goals and their structure, and I bring it up in an interview. Like, oh, when I was looking to apply, like I really enjoyed so and so. Some companies I didn't, but other companies had really cool social goals where like I really connected with. Like the job I'm going to now, what they do, I really love, and it's one of the things that really attracted me to them. But yeah, all in all, that was my first thing from the year that made me really happy.
Yeah, dude. Okay, that's super good.
Round one complete.
Okay, do you each have one like short, quick one that we can blitz through?
No.
Yeah, I've
For real?
got a small one.
Holy cow, guys!
I've got a relatively short one that I don't have to do in too much detail.
I think this one's kind of self-explanatory. I loved Across the Spider-Verse, the second Spider-Verse film. Was phenomenal. Sir. We could do a whole episode on that show. That film. Loved it.
Is that the second or the first one?
It's the second It's the second Spider-Verse film. It is phenomenal in all the right ways. The one thing I will say is so often, and Netflix is the biggest perpetrator of this in my brain. Oftentimes, I see either series or films. They go into it with a message that they want to communicate, and it just feels like they're hitting you over the head with it.
Yeah.
For instance, like, look, kids' films is maybe not a great example because they're technically made for children, but like The Marshalls vs. the Machines, that was a Netflix animated film from last year or the year before, and essentially they just cracked you over the head the whole time with the message, technology bad, touch grass, kids.
Yeah, technology.
And
AI.
Which is, fair enough, do what you will, but also the story is only there to serve the message.
Yeah.
Whereas in, for instance, the Spider-Verse films, the characters living out their lives tell, like, the moral of the story is apparent.
Yeah.
But it's not beaten over your head. It's more you give it, like, so much of a shit for the characters
incorporated
and what they're doing. It's so good. And the message then being, like, don't conform to other people's expectations of yourself comes across so clearly, but only because of how Miles and the other characters behave according to who they are, and not because of some weird overarching message that the show is, like, trying to shove down your throat. Such a good film. I'm going to probably rewatch it tomorrow.
Amazing animation. I've only seen the first one. So I need to watch the second one. The first one was... I'd say pivotal in like doing your own thing, where it's a sense of like if you watch that film back, the characters are animated in different ways on different timings and things like that, or even like in different art styles. And when I saw that, I was like, you can incorporate all these things into one film. That was very cool for me because I like that. I always have too many things I want to do or ideas. So I really enjoyed that aspect of the first one, but I need to watch the second one.
In industry-wise, a lot of animation studios hate it because Sony absolutely raised the bar of animation and what can be possible moving forward.
Is it the same thing as game developers and Baldur's Gate?
Yeah.
Oh, so dumb.
Because Disney and Pixar have become very lazy in their animation, where it's been the same thing for so long.
Don't get me started on Elemental and The Good Dinosaur and stuff like that. But sorry, that was my relatively quick one. Hear it.
I'll do a quick one. I could just say I quit smoking.
Yeah, top notch.
I mean, it's been about like 8 months now, maybe more. I've actually lost count of how long it's been. But I used to smoke a lot. Like for 6 years, I smoked maybe like a pack a day for 3 to 4 of those years, maybe more. I smoked all through my studies to like help me get through my studies when I was stressed. And I just was like one day in 2023, end of 2022, I just was like, I need to stop this. No real apparent reason of like I loved smoking. It sounds crazy, but I did, and that was why I had to stop. I loved it too much, and it was just obviously so unhealthy for me. I mean, all the health factors. I mean, I don't need to list them off, but I feel like physically and mentally a lot better and a lot stronger off of it. So smoking for me, quitting smoking was big.
How was that
Super
first
big.
day after you decided to quit smoking?
First day is not so bad. It's the second, the third, and then the month, and the second month after that, and then the third month, and only after that third month did I start feeling like.
Hey, we talked about man 3 months.
I remember like I couldn't go out and hang out with you guys, because I was like, I'm not going to be the same person. I'm going to be this
I remember you were very
angry,
stressed
anxious,
about that.
and I was, but I just had to get past like, just takes time, to get to a point where I'm not thinking about cigarettes. Although I will say I do sometimes have dreams about cigarettes, it's more of an anxiety dream where I'll smoke a ciggy in my dream, wake up and be like, no, and then I'm like, it's okay, never mind. It's just a dream.
Meanwhile, my girlfriend's out there dreaming about like people breaking
Exactly,
in or
exactly.
like Godzilla breaking a city down.
I had a dream the other day about like my wall. I put a whole bunch of pictures up on my wall. I had a dream where all the pictures were slowly, like the press stick that I'd used was coming loose, and all the pictures were hanging, and I had to like quickly like stick them back up. So tell me what that means. That one's crazy.
Kieran, not to give you too much of a fright, my friend.
I know there's a couple of them that are.
There's a couple that are doing that.
So you can see how the environment
So maybe it
affects
was a
you.
premonition.
Maybe.
Dude, quitting smoking has given you psychic powers.
I wish, dude. I wish I could be like me too and just control everyone.
Okay,
Not
that's
like
a good
Mime,
second
though.
one as
Mr.
well.
Mime's fucking creepy as shit, dude.
Mr. Mime is horrifying.
Yeah. He's super strong though.
Have you seen the original design for Jinx?
Yeah. Which they had to change.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Also,
I don't know what you're talking
terrible,
about.
just not a great
Pokemon.
Pokemon, yeah. Was the first, like, one of the first ice types.
One of the first ice types, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Hushav, your second
Yes.
Sorry.
Right. Good.
My second one is The Bear Season 2.
I thought you were going to say
Specifically
the
the episode Forks.
Mm.
It's okay. I'm gonna talk about it, but I'm not gonna give
Spoilers.
I don't want to give
Spoiler
too
alert.
many. I'm gonna try not to spoil it, but it's probably the perfect. It gives a perfect character arc for a character called Richie, who's played by. I wrote down his name because I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but Ibon Mos Bakrak.
Can I see this?
Probably
coming?
I probably butchered the last name, but.
Oh no!
Yeah, I mean-
yeah, fair enough.
You know what?
So in the show,
Let's go.
Richie, he is an asshole from season 1, but both the actor, Yvonne, and the writing do such a good job of balancing that assholeness with us feeling sorry for the character. They always like just give enough for us to like understand why he is like this. And you see him getting like progressively worse over season 1, and in season 2 it kind of just hits this point where there's almost a point of no return. And if you haven't seen The Bear, it's about a guy who comes back to his family's sandwich shop and wants to turn it into like a proper restaurant. And while he's trying to turn it into a proper restaurant, Richie is very much against this and wants it to stay the way things are because he can't accept change. So starting at episode 4, he's been shipped off to a very high-end restaurant to what he believes is for punishment, but what the head chef, I can't remember what his name is, but Alan White's character, what's the name? The main character from The Bear.
From Shameless.
What I can't remember. Jeremy Allen White's character.
Baloo?
Anyways, so yeah, he's been shipped. So Richie has been shipped off to this high-end restaurant, which he believes for punishment, and he has to wake up at 5:30 every day. And he's like, "This is so shit. I'm gonna go in here, and I am not going to like do anything. I'm gonna like try to. He's like, I'm not gonna give my all in this role that they're giving me, and basically at the restaurant they're just making him clean forks for like the first 2 days. He's been shipped there for a week, so over the course of his time in the restaurant, he begins to understand the culture of the restaurant and wanting to impress your customers and make their day because. At this high-end restaurant, they go all out for the customers. They have a pair of teachers who are coming in, and you see at about 6 a.m. every day, they do research on everybody who's coming in into the restaurant that night. And they check their Instagrams, their socials, trying to like specialize. Make it personal. And one of the times he starts to get it is some teachers come in and the waitstaff are like, okay, this is set post-COVID. And they were like, okay, we're not going to make them pay because they've done so much for the community and stuff. So they're going to come in, we're going to give them the best time of their life, and they're not going to pay for anything. And Richie sees this and he starts to get like the hospitality side of running a restaurant. And this slow shift starts him to start researching hospitality. So you'll see him now, like when he's waking up at 5:30, he's waking up before 5:30 because he's so excited to go to his work now. He's reading books about hospitality to get
beyond just making the food.
And there's a wonderful montage of while he's like researching and getting up early set to Taylor Swift's Love Story, which is, I'm getting a little emotional because that entire montage of him being like excited, like finding purpose in what he has to do is, I don't know why, just like really resonated with me. And at the end,
it's also worth saying that over the course of the show so far, a lot of the changes that Carmen,
there we go,
the main character, have made Richie feel obsolete.
Yes.
Or like he doesn't have a role.
Yes.
Which is why this episode is so important. Because it, like you said, gives him purpose.
So at the beginning of the episode, he was cleaning forks and he's now come to the end of his week and he was only going to be there for a week. And you see how sad he is now because he's made friends there, he's found purpose, and he's unsure if he can take now what he's learned and now take it back to the restaurant that Carmen is trying to make. And you see him desperately want to like do something, and he's cleaning forks like one last time, and you can see how sad he is. And I like watching a man clean forks brought me to tears. I don't think that was gonna be on my bingo card for 2023. But
damn, dude.
I'm trying so hard not to give spoilers, but please watch it from like.
Not give spoilers. You just described the whole episode.
There's more to it.
I haven't seen it.
Please go out and watch it from season 1. It is so beautiful. It was one of my favorite episodes from this past year from television. It was very hard to like get down my top 5 things and not have it all be about TV because there was a lot of great TV this past year. But that was mine.
The Bear, bang it.
Episode 4.
Purpose.
Awesome. Okay, my next one is finally an anime, dude.
Ooh. Which one?
I went into this show blind. The first episode is an hour and a half. It's essentially like 3 or 4 episodes of anime put together. It's essentially a feature-length film for their first episode. It's called My Star, or Oshi no Ko.
Oh,
okay.
Or as the Japanese say, Oshi no Ko. And it is this just... I don't remember why I went in blind. And I don't know if someone recommended, but I know that I talked to you about it afterwards.
Friend. Best guy friend.
No. I told him about it. But someone definitely... I might have been Giguk, actually, the YouTuber, who was... I saw his video... No, I didn't watch his video about it. I saw the thumbnail, and he was like, don't watch this video, or something like that.
Yeah.
Regardless, I went in blind, was just rocked by how good it was. And it's all about the idol and TV and all that kind of industry in Japan behind the scenes. And about these kids. There's a bit of a supernatural element to it.
Nice.
But it's all about these people that are obviously characters and actors and idols and stuff, and them going through this industry, and you see the good sides and oftentimes the very bad sides. It is a fucking good show. I can't recommend it enough. But don't research anything. Just go in blind to that first episode. Have your socks rocked off your body and then just hold on tight with your flippin' gloved hands for the rest of the roller coaster.
Why gloved hands? Sorry. That's so specific. What are you, driving a car? Are you a chauffeur?
The mental imagery was like, oh, they don't have socks. They should have gloves.
I'll watch it. I haven't seen it.
It's super good. I can't recommend. I recommended it to like 6 or 7 people, every single person I told, I was like, don't research, just go in blind and trust. And every person came back to me and was like, Bjorn, I will trust every recommendation you ever give me ever again.
Okay.
So it's like, it's such a good show.
So it's like BTS behind the scenes, but also BTS the band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
BTS the band behind the scenes, also not Korea but Japan. And on top of that, having a bit of like a lot more like drama and supernatural and stuff.
I mean, the supernatural stuff is over by the first episode, which is a double.
Kind of. It's it's one of the catalysts for the whole show.
Yeah.
But there was a controversy with it in that one of the like arcs in the show followed a character who like was horrifically bullied online and like attempted to unalive herself. But in the show she gets saved. Whereas in real life, there was an actual actress who went through that. Pretty much the exact same thing, was not saved. I think the mom wanted to sue the creators of the show.
They were a professional wrestler who went onto a reality TV show, and she was bullied because of being on the show. Like, just, they picked out and just made fun of her all the time. And sadly, she didn't get that happy ending.
The thing being, like, in the show, they talk, like, in this anime I'm talking about, they show how oftentimes producers will cut footage to like paint people in a certain light. That's why when my partner, I get sucked into all of the like reality shows she watches, but after I've been sucked in and I come out the other end of an episode or a watch, I'm like, okay, I wonder how much money they offered this person to say that. I wonder how much cutting and reworking of footage they did and it's, I gotta be honest, I don't know if I would risk being just, even regardless of how much money, just some like producer choosing to cut footage in a certain way
they take
that
away your
makes
autonomy.
my public life horrid. It's such a scary thought.
If you go back and watch early Netflix like reality stuff, they didn't know the rule about not having a clear glass. To make, is it opaque? Is it opto transparent?
Yeah.
So people be having a conversation, and then when they cut back and forth, if you look at their glasses, like someone like I would be like, what is your name? And Bjorn would be like, my name is Bjorn, and I'd be like, oh, that's cool. When you cut back to me saying, oh, cool, you'll see when I ask my name is, the glass is filled up to here, and me saying, oh, cool, all of a sudden the drink is all the way down there.
So much time has passed.
Yeah.
So they're like reshooting.
They would have been like, okay, can you maybe say it like this or do it like that?
Yeah, it's a show.
Yeah. Go back and watch early Netflix before they learned the opaque.
But before you do that, watch Oshinoko.
And before you do that, watch Bear.
And before you do that, anyways, Kieran, you're number 3.
Number 3.
I think.
Okay. So once again, he's very me focused. And also, so I'll save my favorite one for last. I just wrote here a health journey, and that includes weight loss, physical health, and mental health.
Okay, all kind of combined into one.
Combined into one.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it wasn't, I could talk about it for the whole day.
Can you give us like kind of some examples of how all have changed?
So I think it's tied into obviously quitting smoking as well, but I would say the physical health is more like getting active, getting into nature, walking, doing walks. I don't gym. I don't like the gym personally. It's not for me. So I getting out into the world, getting sunlight, going through the forest. That's been my main physical activity, and it's helped me mentally like think through things, but also it's helped me to lose weight. Eating less, watching what I eat. Because, my weight has always been something that I've struggled with. And it just feels good to exercise and to get fitter, I guess. Obviously, when you're starting out, it doesn't feel fantastic, right? It's difficult. And the progression there has been something that I'm super proud of, because normally what I do is I'll put on a bunch of weight, be going through some hard times, and then lose that weight, and then put it back on again. So I'm hoping this time that I can sort of balance, find balance with this. And the mental health part of it is also just like going to therapy, seeing a psychiatrist, taking medication, which I think has helped me a significant amount. And just like learning more about myself, ADHD, OCD, and understanding how my brain works. Because before, like going through school and stuff, I just learned a whole bunch of like tactics to adapt to basically get through school. So learning, for example, like I had a very unhealthy relationship with learning and marks and myself in school. And I'm trying to undo some of that now, where I keep some of the good and get rid of the things that are just really unhealthy for me. So that's my third one. I don't.
So the gym element of you not liking it, what is
Yeah.
it about the gym
I
that you don't see appealing right now?
I think it's the sameness of going to the gym. You see the same environment, the same weights, the same machines, the same people probably. It's closed in. There's at least the one that I was going to before. It's stuffy. It's just not for me. I like being out in nature, and so I had to choose between like, I guess, do I want to do walking and cardio, or do I want to do muscle and sort of I wouldn't say faster, but like maybe what's considered a more healthy way to lose weight is to go to the gym and lift weights and stuff like that, because you burn the weight faster.
Not necessarily healthy.
Well,
Because I've
yeah.
been going to gym, but I've ignored my cardio the past
Yeah.
few months, and I've amounted to quite a
But-
nice
yeah.
bit of mass. But I'm the strongest I've ever been.
Yeah.
But my cardio is shit. And this year I want to focus a little bit more on cardio, get rid of this.
So that's another thing, like balance, right?
Yeah.
So I'm all kind of like all in one direction, which is walking right now,
Okay.
because I love it. So
Yeah. Sweet beans.
walk.
Go,
I
walk,
see you.
Walk, kids.
I'm looking at
Go
you.
walk.
So
Yours
this,
walking
this
is
is
super fun.
this will be probably my shortest one.
Okay.
My third thing was Dave the Diver. This is a 2D pixel RPG kind of management game also. So charming, so beautiful. Just this year I needed a game where there was no stress. I could just like relax and play in between my studying for my paper and my projects. And Dave the Diver is so much fun to just put on my headphones, listen to the relaxing music. You dive into the ocean, you hunt fish, you use that fish for your restaurant, and you make sushi.
Damn.
And it's just so much fun, just trying to
Yeah.
like improve your gear so you can swim deeper, hunt bigger fish, improving your staff so you can run the restaurant more efficient. And that's been so much fun. I highly recommend it. It's on that same vibe of Stardew Valley, where it's like a comfort game where you can just...
The
So
problem
relaxing
being,
game.
we tried Stardew Valley. Very stressful.
When you're playing it like two people...
Well, no, it's stressful because you were playing with me and
No.
No.
and
you're
I
playing-
was
no.
refusing to
Kieran, you
obey the rules of the game.
You didn't. You planted trees. And
What?
I'm going to sell the trees.
I was off the grid, baby. I didn't go to town once. I lived off the land
But also, Hushef and I, like,
and I fished.
we try to
You were-
almost min-max.
You were trying to speedrun it when we were
No,
playing.
not speed run. Just trying to optimize.
Yeah.
No, but Stardew Valley just becomes stressful on the first day of a season because you're trying to like get all your crops in and stuff. In later years in game, it's easier
Yeah.
because more things are automated. You have less stress.
You
But
got a
in the
greenhouse.
first like couple of years of the game, you're just trying to plow a massive flippin' field, and like I don't know what it is. When other people are playing the game
Yeah.
with me, I get like competitive.
Yeah. I was just trying to make my base look cool.
You succeeded in making
I
like,
made, like,
a
fences.
fraction of it look cool.
Yeah. So, but hey, game's a game. I'm gonna play it how I want to play it.
Yeah, fair
Yeah.
enough. But also Dave the Diver is super cool. I put in a couple hours there as well.
Haven't
My only complaint, I think, is that once you finish the game, the main story, there's not a lot of appeal to continue.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I really hope in the future the DLC content makes it more appealing. The post game. The post
Post
The
Malone.
end game.
Okay, sweet.
Oh, that's
All right, round 4. Let's go.
My number 4. Okay, I'm also gonna do a game.
Okay.
This past year was the first time I'd actually gotten a chance to get into No Man's Sky. I was super hyped on it back in, I think, 2016, 2015, whenever. I was on the hype train. I was one of those...
Was that the initial release of 2016?
Yeah, the bomb. Like, I'd say one of the original modern bombs in terms of AAA. Well, it's an indie studio, but they were released...
and under-delivering.
Yeah, pretty much. And I was on that hype train. I was like, oh, it's going to be crazy. We're going to like be in space and infinite stars and spaceship.
I get to explore.
I was like hyperventilating, breathing into a brown paper bag. But then it got released and it was a mess and I fell off. I was like in the drama cycle for a second and then it fell off and then like years, maybe 2-3 years passed and you start hearing rumblings from the fan base and like, it's gotten good, it's getting better, it's getting better.
Yeah, they fixed it.
And then this past year was the first time I'd actually like played the game and look, I'll be the first to admit, not for everyone, very repetitive cycle for sure, but hopping on every couple of months and like having a fly around, doing a bit of mining, there's a lot of different, the way I'd explain it is maybe it is a game that has an insane amount of breadth, like there's so much like stuff that's involved in it, but only a few of those have much depth to them. Yeah. That being said, like the base building is relatively cool and it takes a while to get all the different parts, but I'm kind of building up like bases and stuff over time. It is really cool and there's so many parts that I still haven't like touched and want to touch. That's such a weird fucking sentence.
You heard it here first.
Chat, clip that.
But yeah, super cool game. I haven't played it too much in the last few months just because of work and stuff, but that was one of my favorite things of 2023 for sure. Because if you like have a big enough screen and you're sitting there and you're just like
the fly.
We should have got the fly.
Yeah.
And you're just like going through your spaceship in space and you're like, and you can just fly down. You just fly down, hop out, and you're on a different planet.
Yeah.
And you keep exploring. And it's just it is that cool.
Is it a comfort
if it's for
game?
you?
For you.
Look, no part is all that stressful. I gotta be honest.
Because you're an organizer. You like to do things.
My
how I
inventories
like to do them.
are very neat.
How big is the entry level for No Man's Sky?
What do you mean?
Like, if you're a beginner who's never like really done video games, would you recommend No Man's Sky right now?
Mario
Or do you have
Party.
to be like, you've got to like know your video games to like play,
You don't.
to play and enjoy No
The
Man's
skill
Sky?
level isn't very high. It really isn't. There's also like a story mode or something where you practically don't get into any combat, but it isn't difficult in any shape or form. It is a game purely for exploration, and I'd say that that's like the deepest part of the game in terms of like how many stars and how many like universes and stuff.
But like you said, it's a lot.
It's very
focused
broad.
on like a lot.
Yeah.
But less is more sometimes as well.
So
the
but it
depth
is like for what it is, I think they did a great job, and the fact that there's still like more updates are still upcoming. So sorry, that was meant to be my shortest one. But yeah,
good. That was
No
pretty
Man's
short.
Sky. Kieran, you're number 4.
So I've got 2 more left. One of them is going to be a game as well. And you think you guys know what it is. Hold on. Give me a second. It's, sorry, there's someone outside. It's called Elden Ring.
Ooh.
And I'll preface this by saying I haven't finished it yet. Because it's fucking hard as nails. But when I started playing it this year, probably like halfway through the year, I spent maybe like a solid week or 2 weeks like fully engaged, invested.
Putting in like 10 hours.
Dude, maybe more than that. And exploring the world, it's one of the most beautiful and complex worlds that I've explored in a game. And just the sense of like novelty and exploration and also the difficulty, which is a big thing for me, is unmatched in any game that I think has been released or that I will play in the future. Unless Elden Ring 2 comes out. But it is just a magnificent game. It's got a crafting system. It's got freaking insane bosses. You can explore anywhere. You can go anywhere you want pretty much within reason. And you can be underleveled for an area or you can be overleveled for an area. You can freaking go back and realize, oh, there's a whole freaking part of the map that I didn't explore because I didn't see this thing or pick up this item that tells you like, hey, listen, there's a spot you can go down this cave, and then all of a sudden you go underground and then you're on a little island and you find a dragon shrine and you're like, oh my god, what is this? And then you can get dragon powers, dude. This is personally to me. Anyway, I got about Yeah, I would say like 65% through, and I still need to finish it.
You mean just the main storyline quest?
Well, there's no real main storyline. The main storyline is like
Your adventure through
kill
the
all
world.
the bosses, like kill the main bosses, and your adventure through. Yeah. And you get a horse, you get a steed called Torrent. You need to jump around.
It's
double
like that
jump.
stag-looking creature.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Very Miyazaki-like, and I just love that game so much. I'm gonna finish it when I have time.
So Kieran, you are a very big Dark Souls fan. How does this stack up against the?
So for me personally, I still think Bloodborne is my favorite, just on a personal level. Though I do think Elden Ring is in general a better game. So I would say it's probably like first or second. Probably for me it goes Bloodborne, Elden Ring, Demon Souls, Dark Souls 3, Dark Souls 2. And Sekiro is actually top 3 actually, so it would change a little bit.
Okay.
But Sekiro, I think of Sekiro as a different kind of Souls game. It's in its own little separate.
We've said this quite a lot of times as well, that Kieran would probably enjoy something like Hades or Hollow Knight as well, just because it's that hack and slashy kind of...
So much lore.
Yeah. Very cool.
There's like 2-hour lore videos.
The beautiful thing about those games is like you don't need to know what's going on necessarily. Like I know that sounds like
the lore is there for the people who want it.
Exactly.
But if you just want to,
do the gameplay, dude. Yeah. That's what they're like. We're gonna make this the best. Anyway, that's my fourth one.
Awesome, good fourth one, dude.
Right. My fourth one was a late entry because it's something that came out within the last 2 weeks.
Okay.
So there's maybe recency bias.
What is
this?
It's another TV series.
A TV series?
Yeah.
Is it the one that you watched the one episode of and then had to stop because your girlfriend said you can't watch it without me?
No.
Okay.
It's actually surprisingly it's a Marvel thing. Marvel has been dog shit this year.
Okay.
It's What If episode 7. What if Kahori reshaped the world?
Whoa.
Sorry, what is the name of the show?
Super
What
specific.
If.
What If?
Yeah. So the premise of What If, it's a Marvel TV series. It's animated, probably one of the best animated things I've seen in the past year or two. If you're really into animation, I highly recommend it. But the premise is each episode is its own thing. It's not like it is connected, but it's it poses the question like what if? So what if Tony Stark is evil or took like the Hulk serum, and then the entire 30-minute episode follows that and how it would impact the world. So there's a lot of like cool like scenarios that they do that a lot of like comic book characters do. One of the big ones was what if Captain America didn't get the serum and it was his girlfriend Peggy Carter, so Agent Carter. So this episode is from season 2 and it's called What If Kahori Reshaped the World. Kahori is a Native American. It's set in the 1800s, this episode, and she's like very headstrong, very cool, like she's very adventurous, and there's basically a part in America where at this lake where their tribe is not allowed to go to because they say it's like cursed and stuff, and she's like, fuck that shit, I want to go see what's in there. So her and her brother go there, and I'm gonna try to not do spoilers too much because I'd really...
You're literally describing every part of the show right now.
She's definitely going there, right?
Yeah, she goes there.
Kieran, I don't know how you picked up on
that.
So anyway, she goes. So she's a part of the tribe. She's a part of the Mohawk people, and I tried really hard to find what language they speak, but apparently it's called. I wrote it down somewhere here.
Don't stress. Just tell us what happens. Tell you.
Okay, whatever.
Don't leave us on a cliffhanger.
Anyways, the entire episode is not in English. It's in the Native American language that they speak and in some Spanish, because there's some Spanish inquisitors to come later on in the episode. Anyway, she goes to the lake, gets some powers. Not going to tell you too much about that.
Okay.
But basically, while she's getting her powers, the Spanish inquisitors are attacking her villages and invading it, and they nearly kill her brother. And she has been transported to another world because of the power source that's in this lake. And she's trying to convince all the other people who have touched this power source to come back with her and help the tribe. And what I really liked about this episode is there's no first of all, it's not in English, it's in Native American. Animation for it is really beautiful. You can really tell everybody working on this episode really cared. Because in the opening episode, you see the Native Americans, you see them working the tribe, and you see they tried really hard to get everything very accurate. And from what I researched, they actually worked with people from the Smithsonian to make sure it was accurate to the time period, and they worked with actual Native American tribes to make sure that everything was correct. And they actually got to see the episode before anyone else. So it's super like respectful to the Native American culture.
In depth.
Yeah, and Native Americans in general have been done very dirty in Hollywood. So it's been a very cool 2 years, I think, for Native American people because they obviously got this episode, and then they had Prey, one of the prequels to Predators.
I love that movie. Dude.
So good. Highly recommend.
Awesome.
And also the TV series Reservation Dogs.
Yeah.
Which is done by Taika Waititi, which is a coming of age story for teenage Native Americans in Oklahoma. Anyways, so stuff happens. She gets her powers. They come back. She saves the day. All the other people decide to follow her lead because she is a badass. And one of the things I think Hollywood and Marvel have been very bad at is creating very good and compelling female protagonists.
Yeah.
And Kahori is an absolute badass. She is so fun to like watch do her thing. And I think it's similar to what Bjorn said. When they want to do like the whole feminist message, it's often like emasculating the men around, and or having like a man do something, and then the female will do it like 10 times better and be like, this is what like obviously you couldn't do that because you can't have my perspective as a woman, which is like I understand what they're trying to do, but it's too like heavy handed. Like just have her do something badass because they're a badass, and Kahori is a badass.
Yeah, that's hitting it over the head.
Yeah. And I think, yes, so I think she's one of the best female protagonists Marvel has produced. And one of the reasons I put this on my list is I found out, well, I'm very into comics, and I was not familiar with the name Kahori at all. And I looked it up after the show, and Kahori is a brand new character that they created just for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Which makes me so excited that they are trying to,
do something different.
Yeah, do something different.
Or just do Marvel comics.
Bring diverse characters and give them superpowers. Maybe we'll get an Indian superpower person soon.
You had him in the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'd like something like a little more original.
I actually wanted to say, just related to what you were saying about like representation, especially in animated shows. Have you guys watched Kazazimoto at all?
Mm-mm.
It's an anthology series from different animation studios all across Africa. And like even Triggerfish here in Cape Town made one of the animated ones. Very cool anthology where it's like every single episode was done by a different studio, and it's almost, I think, semi-reimagined folk tales from different parts of Africa. So also very cool, highly recommend. But out of curiosity, what kind of superpowers do you want your Indian hero to have?
I don't know.
Dude, in like...
I'm not creative enough to like come up with like something compelling. I'm going to leave that
in the religious
else.
texts, for what I've heard, is that the Indian gods have crazy powers, dude.
Yeah, but I wouldn't want it to be like related to...
You don't want it to be like super Indian.
Yeah.
You want it to just be like...
you're just like an Indian guy's been brought up in Western like media or like the Western world, like similar to me. It's just has powers. It's not like based around their culture, which I guess is cool, but Bollywood, I'm sure they definitely have done that like enough times.
So we're talking flight. Yeah. We're talking invisibility. We're
something like that.
Kamehameha. What else?
Maybe give us electricity powers. I don't know, something cool. Anyways, highly recommend What If Kahori episode. Okay. Even if you're not into Marvel, you can watch it as a standalone and get like really good enjoyment from it.
Okay. Very cool.
Final round.
Final round.
Final one.
Speed run. We went to the Rainbow Kitten surprise concert at the beginning of the year.
Boom.
Loved it. First
Sick.
concert or like big social thing I've been to in years. Yeah. Just because of COVID and not really being super big on like big social events. So that was a big thing for me. Not too much to say about it. I loved it. I think it was a great concert. They performed amazingly.
Yeah.
And just having it at Kirstenbosch Gardens and being able to see the city at night behind them was unreal.
Yeah, dude. I loved that concert so much.
Yeah, sorry, that's my number 5. Epic. Super quick and easy.
Yeah.
Just a great time.
Oh, my turn?
Yeah, dude, right.
Okay, well, my one, I said I was saving the best for last. More in the sense of, like, it's a bit of a funny one, but it's also true, is I have stopped all porn. Porn has stopped for me.
Just imagination.
It's all up here, and, it's not so bad.
Kieran sits outside on the bench and sees a shapely leaf and he's like, no! Get out of my sight!
I log into YouTube and I'm like, oh my god, there's boobs everywhere. I have to be like...
Goes into the fruit and veg section.
Okay. Scroll. Okay. No, but like, that's been a big one for me. This can also be short and sweet, but I think it's like 5 to 6 months now. I've lost count again. And I think it's more of it's a personal challenge to see, or not a personal challenge, more of a rewiring of the brain. Because, I mean, it can be very unhealthy if you're consuming too much porn. I'm not saying I have a problem with porn, it's just that, like, personally, but, it's just it's been good for me. It's been good to take a break, and yeah, like I've this 2023, I've done a lot of things, stopped a lot of things that were affecting me in a negative way.
Just coping mechanisms.
Yeah, coping mechanisms, and this is one of them. And I think no porn it's difficult. Like I said before, once you get past month 3, it's okay. The imagination is a beautiful thing. It's almost better than the HD 4K. But
Kieran is redrawing the kind of stuff you would draw when you were like in grade 6.
Literally.
And it's just like
I'm not even. You joke, but
and then it's like a little. It's then flip action. He's going back and forth.
You joke, but it's true, though.
Kieran's writing and he draws an O. Kieran.
We don't have to show them.
You can't show.
No, I know I can't. But no, like, yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things.
For the
health.
audio
it's
and video
and research.
Kieran just showed us a stick with 2 circles. That's what he showed us.
I actually showed you a pretty well drawn naked lady. So I don't know what you're talking about.
No, it was well rendered for sure.
Sketch. But yeah, that's my last one.
That's very good.
I'm sure there's tons of things I didn't mention, but
nah, it's all good.
Yeah.
My last one is the Guts album by Olivia Rodrigo.
Whoa. I thought you were gonna say by or something.
I love Olivia Rodrigo.
You're so basic.
So the new album is about the confusion with becoming like a young adult. And transitioning and finding your place in the world, and I can relate to that because I'm transitioning from university to my adult life.
Yeah.
She's 19.
Yes,
You're 27.
Yeah. The album is for everyone.
Everybody.
Yeah, I got 2 notes.
The next thing you'll be saying she's better than Taylor Swift.
Yo.
That's actually how I was thinking. We'll come back to that. I think my favorite track was Ballad of a Homeschool Girl. Because the Ballad of a Homeschool is basically about her having FOMO, about like missing out on stuff, and as she's trying to like figure out things and wanting to like do all this stuff, but also realizing, I need to do me, I need to find out what I like.
Yeah.
So that was very
Look out for yourself as well.
So she talks about how she Googles how to flirt in the song, which was super relatable because I did that when I was younger. I Googled how to flirt with the WikiHow 10 steps how to flirt.
Yeah. It can be, it can.
Wait.
I wouldn't recommend, if you're learning how to flirt, to go on the internet and type in how to flirt.
Just go onto YouTube and type in pickup artist.
No, don't do it. Don't listen to them.
I'll be honest. Maybe get a friend or someone who
to pretend to be.
Yeah, that's probably better than fucking. Yeah.
I do want to ask. Okay. I'll let you finish.
Back up.
My second favorite song was Teenage Dream, which is a soft piano ballad. About the transition from adolescence to adulthood. Okay. Very good. My 2 favorite songs. Great album. But now, kind of what Bjorn said, I said this before after Olivia's first album, Sour. It's not been documented, but certain friends have heard it. But now, I think I can say this after her second album and have it be on record. Where's the camera?
It's over there, dude.
All right. Olivia Rodrigo is better than Taylor Swift.
Whoa, dude. You just destroyed our
Where she is in her career right now, she is better than when Taylor was at this point.
It's going to go viral and we're going to get demonetized by YouTube for saying that.
Do you know,
like
I'm a stand up for all the Swifties for a second.
You do, okay.
Taylor is like Olivia's inspiration.
And Taylor is scared of her. That's why
and
she tried
Taylor
to sue her.
helped to write some of her music.
Ooh.
She's scared. She tried to sue her.
When?
For, I can't remember which song it was, but it uses some overloop, or I can't remember what word it was, and it was quietly dealt with behind the scenes.
Sampling is... People need to get over sampling.
That's true.
I gotta be honest. I am not a big enough fan of either of these two musicians
to make this argument.
But I stand up for the people that we hold dear in our lives, Oshav. And you are walking on thin ice.
I can't remember what's the name
Your
of
girlfriend's
Taylor's...
going to be so mad after this.
She
your girlfriend.
punched her screen 5 seconds ago when who should have said that
I can't
shit.
remember what's the name of the
Kick the
second
kid.
album. I'm blanking here, but it's the album that had Love Story.
Fearless.
Yes.
Maybe.
Fearless.
I mean, people are saying.
Well, I'm going to take
I
Bjorn's word for
heard.
it. Her second album is very good, but I think Sour is better, and Olivia does a better job at I think she was also much younger than Taylor at the time the second album came up, but she was much better, I think, at getting across her ideas and that transition that she was going through. First album, if you go album to album for the first one, Sour versus Taylor Swift's debut album, which is just called Taylor Swift, it's chalk and cheese. There's no comparison. Sour absolutely stomps on the debut album.
Listen, my dude, you like what you like.
No,
You
fair
shouldn't
enough.
let
Live your
the internet
life.
tell you what you should like. Or why Taylor Swift is whatever.
I am a Swiftie. I do like Taylor Swift. But I think when it's all said and done and both of them have ended their careers, all the records Taylor Swift is setting now, Olivia Rodrigo will smash it.
Well, we'll
a hot take.
get back to that in what?
In 10
couple
years'
time.
time.
Bookmark
see.
this. Come back to me in 10 years and see how right I am.
Predictions for 2034.
Should we do that?
yeah,
Just one
that
prediction
was-
each for 2030.
I
Oh.
haven't had time to do that.
AI becomes sentient. Got it. Boom.
I grow an extra toe.
Nice. 6
We
toes.
have an exclusivity deal with Spotify.
Alrighty, you heard it here.
But that kind of rounds out our top 5 of 2050,
Yeah.
guys. I loved hearing about
Yeah,
yours.
thanks for sharing,
Oh, it was
guys.
super cool.
Very sweet. But that does bring us to the end of our ep.
It does.
Yeah.
We are a bit over time, even.
A little bit.
A little bit, slightly.
Any hoosers? I'm Bjorn.
I'm Kieran.
I'm Ushav.
And
And?
this is
Oh, I thought we were doing one word each. I'm
Kieran.
And.
Bjorn.
And
Husha.
because.
Okay, that's a podcast.
Alright. Thank you for watching. We love you guys.